Okay, listen up, because we need to talk. We need to talk about fantasy television and the fact that some of you, yes you, are walking around having never experienced the pure chaotic magic of these shows. That's unacceptable, genuinely unacceptable. So grab your snacks, silence your phone, and settle in because I'm about to take you on a journey through 10 fantasy series that will absolutely rewire your brain chemistry. And I mean that in the best way possible. We're talking dragons, demons, prophecies, leather pants, all the good stuff. Let's go. Kicking things off with a show that is pure, unadulterated comfort food for the soul. It's got magic, destiny that everyone talks about constantly, and a friendship so wholesome it'll make your heart ache. The bromance is legendary, okay? We're talking top tier, write poems about it level. The special effects might look a little vintage now, but that's part of the charm. It's like finding a worn-out fantasy novel in a dusty attic. You just know it's full of heart. The adventures are epic, the banter's hilarious, and the emotional gut punches come when you least expect them. Seriously, 1 minute you're laughing at some goofy monster, the next you're sobbing into your popcorn. It's a kind of show that reminds you why you fell in love with fantasy in the first place. If you need a dose of pure, unironic joy with a side of magical chaos, this is it. You absolutely have to watch MERLIN. Alright, next up. Imagine Dungeons & Dragons, but if your chaotic party members were actually professional voice actors and the whole thing was animated with the most stunning, jaw-dropping visuals you've ever seen. This show is not for the faint of heart, okay? It is brutally hilarious and hilariously brutal. The language is, colorful, the violence is over the top, and the characters are a lovable band of dysfunctional misfits who you would both die for and want to strangle. They bicker, they make terrible decisions, they accidentally set things on fire, and you will love every single second of it. It's a masterclass in adapting a beloved story, capturing the lightning in a bottle energy of a tabletop RPG campaign and turning it into something truly special. The action sequences are fluid and cinematic, the emotional beats hit like a truck, and the world building is so rich you'll want to book a one-way ticket. It's loud, it's messy, it's ridiculously fun, and it has so much heart. If you want a show that feels like hanging out with your wildest friends on their most epic adventure, you need to watch The Legend of Vox Machina. Okay, let's throw it back to the 90s for this next one. Get ready for some glorious, cheesy, over-the-top action. We're talking mythical monsters, gods meddling in human affairs, and a hero with muscles so big they probably have their own zip code. The production value is pure 90s gold. Think leather pants, dramatic wind machines, and slow-motion fight scenes. It doesn't take itself seriously at all, and that's its greatest strength. It's a feel-good adventure series that's just pure, unadulterated fun. Every week, our hero and his trusty sidekick wander from town to town, punching monsters and solving problems with a mix of brute force and surprising wisdom. It's episodic, it's campy, and it has an undeniable charm that just makes you smile. This is the kind of show you'd watch on a Saturday afternoon, and it laid the groundwork for so many fantasy shows that came after it. It's a total classic for a reason. Before you watch anything else from this era, you have to experience the original Hercules: The Legendary Journeys. And you can't talk about that last show without talking about its absolute icon of a spin-off. Honestly, this show took the ball and ran with it, creating a legacy that arguably surpassed the original. We're talking a warrior princess with a dark past seeking redemption, a chakram that defies physics, and a battle cry that is instantly recognizable. The friendship, dare I say, the relationship at the heart of the show is one of the most iconic in television history. It was groundbreaking, it was powerful, and it inspired a generation. This show could be ridiculously funny one week with a body-swapping comedy episode, and then completely shatter your heart the next with a gut-wrenching drama. It explored complex themes of good versus evil, forgiveness, and sacrifice, all while delivering incredible fight choreography and epic mythological battles. The lead character is the definition of a strong female protagonist, flawed, fierce, and utterly captivating. For its incredible legacy and unforgettable hero, you have to watch Xena, Warrior Princess. Okay, shifting gears to a show that literally defines a generation and changed television forever. High school is hell, right? Well, for this girl, it literally is. She's just trying to navigate crushes, homework, and prom, but she also has to deal with vampires, demons, and the occasional apocalypse. The dialogue is razor sharp, witty, and so iconic that people are still quoting it decades later. It's a perfect blend of horror, comedy, romance, and heartbreaking drama. The Monster of the Week format slowly gives way to complex season-long arcs that explore themes of growing up, responsibility, loss, and power. The characters feel so real. They're a found family of outcasts who you'll root for, cry with, and yell at through the screen. This show wasn't afraid to get dark, to make bold choices, and to break its audience's heart into a million tiny pieces before somehow putting it back together. It's a cultural phenomenon for a reason, people, a true masterpiece. There is no excuse, you must watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Hey, real quick, if you're enjoying this manic trip down fantasy lane, do me a huge favor and smash that like button. And if you want more chaotic recommendations from your friendly neighborhood TV addict, hit subscribe. It means the world and helps me keep finding more gems for us to obsess over. Okay, moving on. Picture this. You're a cop, you're investigating a weird crime scene, and you suddenly see the suspect's face morph into a hideous monster for a split second. What do? Well, you find out you're descended from a long line of hunters who can see the true fairy tale creatures hiding in plain sight. This show takes the classic Grimm's fairy tales and twists them into a gritty modern police procedural. It's a Monster of the Week show at its core, but with a fascinating overarching mythology that builds and builds. It's so cool seeing how they reinterpret familiar stories into criminal cases. The big bad wolf is a reformed community leader. The three little pigs are a construction dispute gone wrong. It's brilliant. You get a fantastic ensemble cast, a bestiary of creepy creatures, and a surprisingly deep world that you just get sucked into. It's dark, it's clever, and it's totally addictive. You need to check out GRIMM. Alright, prepare yourselves, because this next one is a lot, in a good way. Imagine a world where vampires came out of the coffin and are now trying to live alongside humans. This show is set in the steamy, swampy heat of Louisiana, and it feels just as dangerous and unpredictable as a gator in a bayou. It is messy, it is sexy, it is violent, and it is gloriously over the top. This is not your sparkly, romantic vampire story. These vampires are ancient, powerful, and deeply flawed predators. The show is a wild, soapy, supernatural gumbo of vampires, werewolves, fairies, and witches and shapeshifters, all wrapped up in a story about prejudice, addiction, and desire. It's a Southern Gothic masterpiece that is absolutely drenched in atmosphere and suspense. The characters are unforgettable, the drama is cranked up to 1,000, and you never ever know what's gonna happen next. It's a crazy, bloody, and ridiculously entertaining ride. Turn down the lights and pour yourself a drink for true blood. Alright, prepare yourselves because this next one is a lot, in a good way. Imagine a world where ordinary people all over the world suddenly develop superpowers. No fancy costumes, no secret lairs, just a cheerleader who can't be killed, a nurse who can see the future, and an office worker who can bend space and time. The first season of the show was a cultural event. It was appointment television. The way it wove together all these disparate storylines from across the globe into one epic, connected narrative was just masterful. The sense of discovery, both for the characters and the audience, was electric. You felt their confusion, their fear, and their awe as they grappled with these impossible abilities. The mantra, "Save the cheerleader, save the world," became iconic. It was a grounded human take on the superhero genre before that was really a thing. It tapped into a universal desire to be special, to have a greater purpose. The journey of these average people becoming extraordinary is compelling, thrilling, and utterly unforgettable. You have to experience the phenomenon that was Heroes. Okay, this next one isn't just a TV show, it's a puzzle box. It's a mystery, it's a commitment. A plane crashes on a seemingly deserted island, and the survivors have to learn to work together to stay alive. But this is no ordinary island. There's a smoke monster, a mysterious hatch, polar bears, and a group of hostile inhabitants known only as the Others. This show is pure, uncut mystery.
Every episode ends with a cliffhanger that leaves you screaming at the screen. The storytelling is revolutionary, using flashbacks and later flash forwards to peel back the layers of each character's past. You become a detective, piecing together clues, debating theories online until 3 in the morning. It's a show about faith versus science, destiny versus free will, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. The characters are some of the most complex and well-developed characters in television history. It's a pop culture landmark that had the entire world asking, what is the island? It will confuse you, frustrate you, and make you think. You owe it to yourself to get lost. And finally, we've arrived at the big one. The Titan, the show that ran for 15 seasons and created a fandom so dedicated it's basically a small country. We're talking about 2 brothers, a cool car, and a classic rock soundtrack. They're saving people, hunting things, the family business. The show started as a spooky Monster of the Week horror series and evolved into an epic saga about angels, demons, God, and the apocalypse, all while keeping the relationship between 2 brothers at its core. The chemistry between the leads is legendary. Their banter, their arguments, their unwavering loyalty is the heart and soul of the entire series. The show has an incredible sense of humor, constantly breaking the fourth wall and poking fun at itself with some of the most creative and hilarious meta episodes ever made. But it will also rip your heart out without a moment's hesitation. It's a show about family, sacrifice, and fighting for what's right even when the odds are stacked against you. It's an epic journey, a cultural touchstone, and an absolute must-watch. Carry on, my wayward sons, and watch Supernatural. Woo! Okay, that is it, our ultimate fantasy bucket list. What did I miss? What are you screaming at your screen right now about? Let me know in the comments, let's talk about it. Thanks for hanging out on the couch with me today. It was a blast. Don't forget to follow for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.